Welcome to the fourth video of the CAD1 module. In this video we're going to learn a few commands that modify or adapt an existing drawing. To do this we're going to add to this drawing. So underneath the rectangle command drop down menu, click rectangle, and we're going to click a rectangle, create a rectangle that is 10 millimeters by 12 millimeters. So go to the origin, click once, and drag out until you'll see your two values. Now to create our exact measurements again, we're just going to hit the tab button to ensure we're selecting the right measurement, and then 10 millimeters for the x-axis, tab, and then 12 millimeters for the y-axis, and then press enter. You're going to notice that the rectangle is created. We're also going to add a slot. So click on the drop down menu and select the slot center to center drawing. Now the slot is a rounded elongated hole. That's common in manufacturing and production. So we're going to add one to this drawing. If you take your cursor and move it along the top line here, you'll notice that it's going to snap to a green dot once you hit the middle of the line. And this allows you to select exactly the middle of a drawing. So we're going to go down, and you'll notice that the X value is staying, as I'm going directly down, it's staying at negative 5.000 millimeters, but the Y-axis is changing. To establish where we want to start our line, I'm going to hit tab and then tab again to get to the Y-axis, and I'm going to enter 9.00 and press enter. Now that we've established the beginning of the line, I can put the end in. So I'm going to drag down and I'm going to enter 6.00, enter. Now as I drag my mouse out, I'll notice that I've one more click to make, and that is the radius that the slot will have and the size of the slot. So you can have it quite large or quite small, but for the purposes of this drawing we'll be using 2.00. So I'll enter 2.00 and enter. And now we've created the slot for the other commands. The next two commands that we are going to learn about are the fillet and chamfer commands. Both commands adjust the corners of any sharp edges that you might have in your drawing. The reason for this is that rounded and beveled edges are easier for machines to produce. If you take a look here on the upper part of your toolbar, you'll see the fillet command. I'm going to click that command, and you'll see a little box open up where it has a measurement. This measurement is the radius of the rounded corner that we'll be creating. I'm going to touch the equals button here, and I'm going to click on both of the lines of the corner that I would like to round off. Once they're rounded, once I've clicked on them, you can see that it immediately rounds off the corner. I'm going to click the top again and the side on this side, and it'll create a 2 millimeter rounded corner. And once more on the side and the bottom. Now that's the fillet command. The chamfer command is slightly different. It creates a beveled edge. A beveled edge is more like a straight edge that cuts off a corner. So what we're going to do is select chamfer. You can see a little picture of it there. Now a chamfer is slightly different in that it has three different ways of measuring how to create a beveled edge. The one that we're going to use uses one where it cuts off 1 millimeter on each side of the corner. So as I have that selected, and it's 1 millimeter, I'm going to touch two different parts. And you'll notice that it's created a beveled edge here. And I'm going to touch the bottom and the side and created another bevel edge. So now you have the part connected and with these edges that are no longer sharp. The next command that we're going to learn is the trim command. The trim command is handy to remove parts of the drawing that you no longer need. When we created our chamfer, we were left with a line that is hanging out in the middle of the drawing. I'd like to remove it. In order to do so, I'll need to use the trim command in the modify box up here. But I've also noticed that there are a number of dimensions cluttering the area which I need to look at. So in order to zoom in, look at your mouse and you'll see the roller wheel. If you roll back and forth on the roller wheel, you'll be able to zoom in on aspects of your drawing. So zoom in, until you can see the line more comfortably. Then we're going to press the trim command. Once you press it, when you hover over an area, you'll see a dashed line where it's going to remove a certain part of the drawing. Now the part that we need is this line right here, and so I'm going to click on it, and it's removed the bottom half of the line. When I click on the upper half part of the line, you'll notice that I'll get a warning. Now that warning is common and just means that I have had a measurement and it is referencing part of the line that I'm trying to remove. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of the measurement. Now the measurement is right here. It's this 2 millimeter measurement, and it's referencing that green dot. So I need to get rid of this measurement to get rid of this line. So I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm going to right click and click OK. So now I have my white cursor, and I'm going to left click on the 2 and press the delete button on my keyboard. It's going to delete that measurement. Now I'm free to go up to the trim command again and remove the upper part of the line. I'm going to use my roller wheel again and zoom back out to see my drawing. Trim command is also useful when you want to remove parts of a shape that you put into a drawing. To demonstrate this, I'm going to use the circle. So I'm going to go down and create a circle. Follow along and create a circle at the midpoint of the line on the side of the drawing here. Now I'm going to create a 2.00 millimeter circle. So I enter 2.00 and press enter on my keyboard. If you notice, as I zoom in using the roller wheel, that this semicircle and this line here are not part of the drawing, or are not needed to be part of the drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the trim command, and I'm going to highlight over this semicircle, and you'll notice it's all dashed. I'm going to click on it to remove it and click on the center line. Now once I zoom out with my roller wheel, I can see that it is once again a solid shape all the way around. Thank you very much for watching this video. Practice this skill on a couple of shapes in your own drawings, and if you have any questions, please contact your instructor.